Hello from London, and I thought today we'd do something a bit different. It's a book haul. Yes, I'm back from Japan, and I want to share with you some of the purchases that I made in the fantastic language sections of the big bookshops that I visited in Fukuoka and in Tokyo. You may have seen those on the vlogs I did from those places. If you're new here, by the way, welcome. I'm Dr. Gareth Popkins. Here we talk about language learning from many angles, and you can get my free training, my Language Learner Pro training, by following the link underneath this video. And do subscribe for the vibe if you like what we're doing here on the channel. Let's have a look then at the books that I've brought back with me. Starting with this is from Kinokuniya in Tokyo. And yeah, what I bought was this introduction to Japanese grammar and communication strategies. This is really more of an advanced text for use in the future, I think, but it talks about the different ways of saying things in Japanese. It really gets into the mentality of the language, and it's a sort of grammar book with knobs on, if you'd like, I'd say. There's a lot of information in there, and it's one that I think I'm going to be referring to many times in my language learning journey with Japanese, but not immediately, I don't think. I think this is one for when you get to the intermediate levels. But I liked the book, so I got hold of it. The other one I got from that bookshop was this one called Japanese in 6 Weeks. It's a little volume, and it actually it takes you through, there's something new to do each day. I'm sceptical about courses promising quick results like this, but it'll be interesting to have a look at, and it may be a book that will offer me a way of revising, if you like, things that I'm doing in my main Japanese courses. So those are the two from Kinokuniya. Next, in here, this is from Yukundu, if I can break in. Now, at this bookshop, they wrapped everything up beautifully with these sort of paper covers. And so to show you the volume, I will have to take that off. And the first one is actually an essential vocab book. Now, this is more relevant to me at my current pretty low level of Japanese. It's 1,000 essential vocabularies for the JLPT N5 exam, the lowest Japanese for foreigners language exam. What I like about this is that it has the vocabulary in with the furigana. So when you have the kanji characters, there are small explanations in the syllabaries above that in the hiragana, which is very useful. And the answers are written in red, so that when you cover up with this red piece of film, they don't actually show. You can only see the black text, but not how the gaps are filled in. So I'll be able to test myself that way with this book. Now, interestingly, this is a trilingual book. It's the English and for English and Vietnamese speaking learners. There is also one in Korean and Chinese, I think, was the other option that was available. Something that's very good is that all the words in here are presented individually, but then in a little chunk, a little sentence, which of course is a very good way to learn words effectively. So that's the first one from Junkundu, and after I finish filming, I shall wrap it nicely again in its cover. Now, the next one from that bookshop here, yes, this is a shadowing guide. Now, there we are, let's take that off. Shadowing is a method where you have a text in front of you in written form, and then you also have the audio to the text, and you try and read along at the same time as you're listening to the audio. It's good for practicing the muscles in the mouth, for your accent, as well as for reinforcing and getting some repetition. It's one of the many ways that you can work with a text, others being things like paraphrasing, translation back and forth, that sort of thing. So this is a general Japanese phrases one. There are different themes to the different shadowing books that were available. This one is, yes, trilingual again, English, Chinese and Korean, with the quadrilingual, if you like, with Japanese then as the target, obviously. So, for example, what's that? And then it's a digital camera. So you have that here written in Japanese and then in English on this side as a translation. And the Japanese, again, has the furigana, small characters written above the kanji pictorial character. The final book from Junkundo was this one. Yep, Speak Japanese. This one, let's get the cover off if I can without tearing it. It's such a shame really to take them off, but there we go. They'll go back on. This one has 88 basic patterns for Japanese conversation. Now, one of the things I always sort of stress when I'm talking about grammar is that we should think not in terms of abstract rules, but patterns, if you like, that we can apply to generate multiple innumerable sentences, if you like. So X is something than Y, if you're comparing, for example. And here then are 88 basic patterns for Japanese in this book. And with lots of examples, each pattern then has examples of how it's used, which you could then look at or learn indeed as chunks of language. And there is a CD that comes with this book as well. This series, again, there were various different offers available, Japanese in different contexts, but at my stage I thought, yeah, let's start with the basic patterns. So that's what this book is. The final bag of goodies then. This is from the Yaisu Book Center in Ginza, a very chic area of Tokyo. And what I bought here was, and you may have seen these in the vlog as well, basically, take the wrapping off again, they put a beautiful cover on for me out of beautiful paper. And then there's another cover, actually the cover itself comes off. This seems to be the way that they do it in Japan. Look at that, so beautifully done. And this is a book about Japan. So it's called Your Passport to Communication in Japan, at least as the subtitle. And it has a lot of basic vocabulary, finding a store, seasoning and cooking, indulging a sweet tooth, specialities, enjoying stews, sushis, getting a bite. So that's asking for directions, the usual things you'd expect from a phrase book. But it's beautifully illustrated, and again it has the characters, but also the furigana or in kanji as well. So I think this is going to be a nice one for some reinforcement of my basic Japanese vocabulary. I think I'll already have come across most of the vocabulary in this book, but this is one I'm going to enjoy using again for consolidation and for revision. And finally, another book which is in the same series, and I can't remember now how this one differs. Ah yes, this is, that one said, show this book to people you meet. So it's sort of more of a phrase book. This one is broader. It's about life in Japan, and it takes the same approach. A lot of illustrations, thematic chapters, electrical appliances and furniture, buying daily sundries, enjoying recreational activities, and so on. So again, I think this is going to be a fun book with some very, very usable language in usable format for me, and one that is, again, simply beautifully illustrated and nice to hold and nice to handle. So those are the materials I picked up when I was over in Japan. I hope you found it interesting to see them, and I'll be talking about learning Japanese here on the channel again very, very soon. Have you got any exciting new language books recently for your language? What are the criteria that you brought to bear when you bought your latest materials for your language learning? Let me know in the comments below. As always, thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget, as I say, to subscribe for the vibe, think about a thumbs up, tickle that bell, and share the affair. Sayonara, see you next time.